Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Apologies for the red face, as you know, been away on a short little break, but we're back to usual now. So let's just get straight into it with the first topic, and it's some contradictory stuff at the moment. If we take a look, it says a report here from Managing Barca, so obviously a little bit of a bias there. They are a Barca-based journalist team, and it says Raphinha is getting further and further away from FC Barcelona as the club finalised Dembele's contract renewal. And this is coming through this guy, so, you know, 10,000 followers, followed by Fabrizio Romano, so it could be in the know, right? We don't really know. But in the late hours of today, we've also seen reports coming through saying that Barcelona are pretty much finalising the Raphinha deal. You can see this article here saying Chelsea miss out on winger despite agreeing fee with Premier League club. It is Raphinha. You'll see here Mike Keegan reporting, and maybe not the most reliable, but there's a lot of other ones, especially Spanish ones, saying blah blah blah, Raheem's joining Chelsea. However, Raphinha is off to Barca. And he's not the only one saying it. Like I said, a lot of Spanish clubs are the ones saying that, you know, Barcelona have agreed it. Might be right, might be wrong. But it's probably not a good sign, you know, there's not usually any smoke without fire. So, whilst Raphinha, I think, would have been excited, would have enjoyed the Chelsea move, it does look like he's going to get his agreed move. So that means Chelsea, if we're going to go through and try and sign another winger, it'll be interesting to see who it might be. I am not too sure who it's going to be. You know, Chelsea have got their targets clearly, so maybe we'll go for a little bit of an unknown name, you know, and a non-proven quantity. What I liked about Raphinha and what I like about Sterling is they're Premier League proven. We know they can do it in this league, whereas if you go and buy someone from Portuguese league, Spanish league, Italian league, you never really know what you're getting when they get to the Premier League. So, a potentially sad, upsetting one here that we're not going to get Raphinha, but you could argue the fee being paid for him was quite a lot for a guy whose, you know, output isn't insanely high, right? Like, he's good, don't get me wrong, he's a very good player in that Leeds team, and I would have taken him at Chelsea because I think he could improve. I think that's the big thing with Raphinha. He has age on his side, but there's other options out there, right? We're not left high and dry on this one, so we'll see where Chelsea go from here on out. But it does look like Raphinha, that one's done. Next up, an update from Nizar Kinsella, and he says any further Chelsea approach for Jules Kounde could depend on the De Ligt outcome. So it's not, by the sounds of it, doesn't sound like it could be De Ligt and Kounde. It's sort of going to be one or the other, which is upsetting for me because De Ligt and Kounde would have been my two favourite targets, I think, for us to get this year. This is coming from Nizar Kinsella, like I said, so very reliable, usually, obviously covers Chelsea through and through. So for me, quite upsetting to hear that it's Kounde or De Ligt. I understand both are going to cost quite a bit of money, so maybe it's going to be, you know, if we could get Kounde for 40 million, then maybe it'd be De Ligt and Kounde instead of De Ligt and Ake, like it's maybe going to be. But on the same vein of this, obviously talking about Jules Kounde, moving on to this one, it says a deal for Jules Kounde could be in jeopardy as he grows restless over Chelsea's inaction. The report says that Kounde is still high up on the list of defenders that Tuchel would like to sign this summer, but the player is now not getting the attention he would like. The Blues had supposedly agreed on personal terms with the Frenchman last summer, as we're well aware, but that was with former sporting director Marina Granovskaya. Now with Todd Bowley in charge, fresh negotiations with the club and player are expected. It's understood that Kounde was very close to joining the Blues last summer, but increasing the valuation basically made it not happen. And yeah, the general gist of this is that he's starting to get frustrated. It's been over a year that we've been chasing this man pictured here, Jules Kounde. That's a long time for a player to wait, especially if, you know, he essentially thought it was agreed last year, but his club hiked the price up, so he's like, fine, okay, next year you'll accept a lower amount from it, right? They agree to it, and then Chelsea, with the change of ownership, you know, it's circumstantial, these things do happen, but the fact that that has happened, and maybe the new, you know, Todd Bowley and his consortium aren't too chuffed on the idea of either buying Kounde because they don't think he's good enough, or the fee involved. And for Kounde, that'll be deeply upsetting. I think for the fans, that'll be upsetting because we all thought he was going to be coming in. So obviously with the last report that we went, it's De Ligt or Kounde. So now it really does look like that could be the end of Kounde being a Chelsea player if we end up with De Ligt. If we don't, then it's Kounde, and you know, that's another good one. But we definitely need another centre back alongside him. So interesting situation there. It's a tricky one. Now we've got more news topics to go through here, but Nick Pure coming through and saying Raheem Sterling's belief he can chase the Ballon d'Or at Chelsea represents a major endorsement of Thomas Tuchel's Blues and the new Chelsea ownership plans. Sterling's capture will only aid Chelsea's continued recruitment too. So there, obviously, that is a massive statement. If Raheem Sterling's never really been that close to a Ballon d'Or, right? A brilliant player, but is he, you know, the best in the world at any point? Not really. Chasing the Ballon d'Or at Chelsea is, you know, part of his belief. Now, whether that's, you know, how athletes, they have to think they're the best in the world, right? Like, it's what drives them. So, for him, if that's the case, it makes sense. But if he really thinks he can win a Ballon d'Or at Chelsea, then that to me signals that he and the Todd Bowley Consortium and Thomas Tuchel have outlined some ridiculous plans. You know, they've obviously given him some names in that, yeah, we're signing this guy in defence this year, maybe another one. Midfield is being bolstered with this, so that you're going to have all the support you need to be scoring, assisting like crazy. You'd have to think that if he's going to be playing on the wing, then he's been told of some sort of striker acquisition that we're planning on bringing through, that he can, you know, supply with all these crosses and really bump those numbers up, because at the moment Sterling is a long way off. So it's a good sign. You know, it says it represents a major endorsement of Thomas Tuchel's Blue and the new Chelsea plans. It seems crazy, but if Sterling thinks he can do it and he wants to push for that sort of thing, that's what I like to hear, because it might be unrealistic, but he still means he's going to push himself to the absolute limit. So obviously there was a lot of rumours going around saying that Broja was going to be leaving, and it says he is expected to join the Chelsea tour next week, as the club said. No drama, as Chelsea were always open to players travelling separately if planned. Talks on the Albania striker future still continuing, so people were a little bit concerned that maybe he wasn't going to be going on the tour, he wasn't going to be involved in that, and basically that was a sign that because there's interest from Palace, West Ham, you know, all these other clubs, that basically meant Broja's going, we're not going to, no point in us taking him on pre-season tour, we'll just keep him to the side and then sell him. Thankfully, that doesn't seem to be the case. It's obviously now been confirmed that he's joining up later on, and it's just, he's getting there, he'll be there in time for, you know, all the training sessions and all that sort of stuff. So thankfully, nothing to worry about there. Broja is still staying for pre-season. Whether he stays indefinitely, who knows, but he will be assessed during pre-season. And then this one is maybe a little bit more of an Arsenal thing, but obviously it affects Chelsea. There's been these links saying that Kounde is going to Arsenal. And Ben Jacobs on this big thread here, he ended off with nothing in the N'Golo Kante links though. So Arsenal, they're not getting Kante. And you know, you could have told me that and I would have laughed in your face. You know, no way is Kante going to Arsenal. Surely Chelsea would do it. And it seems to be the case. Ben Jacobs been very reliable so far this transfer window, and he says there's nothing in those links, so nothing to worry about there, Chelsea fans. Our beloved Kante will not be going to Arsenal. Well, that was going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like on it, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on a future video. I'll catch you at the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.